Iran fired missiles at the Gulf countries as it pressed the campaign that they're into a second week. More Iranian strikes were reported on Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Kuwait's defense ministry said that hostile drones targeted fuel storage tanks located at the Kuwait International Airport. The ministry spokesperson said that the drones breached country's airspace at dawn, describing it as a direct strike of vital infrastructure. Separately, the country's interior ministry said 2 of its officers were killed while performing duties without providing details. Explosions were heard in several areas as a result of air defense systems intercepting ballistic missiles, cruise missiles and drones. In Bahrain, Iranian attacks damaged a water desalination plant and injured 3 people. Bahraini Ministry of Interior said they have stated that injuries occurred when missile debris fell near a university building in the north of the country. Bahrain said that Iranian drone attack on Sunday damaged the plant, which processes seawater to supply fresh water to residents. Saudi Arabia's civil defense reported that a military projectile struck a residential area in Al-Kharaj Governorate, south of Riyadh, resulting in the deaths of 2 individuals, an Indian national and a Bangladeshi national, and injured 12 others. The US State Department has ordered non-emergency government employees and their families to leave Saudi Arabia because of security risks linked to Iranian missile and drone attacks. In a stern message to Iran, Saudi Arabia has condemned Tehran's attack on Gulf and Islamic countries, saying that such actions cannot be accepted or justified under any circumstances. But the kingdom has vowed to take actions that ensure the protection of its security and sovereignty and to deter aggression. UAE, on the other hand, reported that its air defense systems detected several incoming threats during the latest wave of attacks. According to UAE officials, 16 ballistic missiles were detected. Out of these, 15 were intercepted and destroyed, while 1 fell into the sea. Qatar's defense ministry said on Monday that its forces had intercepted a missile attack in the capital. Amid the escalating strikes from Iran, Qatar's prime minister has said that Iran has betrayed Doha by attacking Gulf countries and urged all sides in the war to de-escalate the conflict. In an interview with Sky News, Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani rejected what he described as Tehran's justifications and pretexts for the strikes. Listen in.
There's a big sense of betrayal. This is the second time. That's why it's also like for us, it's been something really significant to see the attack, which was showing that being pre-planned. Like once the war started, just maybe an hour after the start of the war, Qatar and the other Gulf countries being attacked right away. And all of us before this war and repeatedly we've been saying and repeating that we are not going to take part of any attacks or any wars against our neighbors.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps had continued targeting the Gulf states despite the apology by the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. IRGC, in a disapproval to Pezeshkian, warned neighboring countries that it will engage those who are allowing US and Israel to stage attacks against Iran. And earlier we were joined by Colonel Rich Outson from Washington, D.C. Well, he is a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council and the Jamestown Foundation. Listen in to what he had to say.
I think what's more important from the perspective of the United States is that in this war, the Mustaba's appointment sort of as the heir apparent just shows that this regime has no intent on making any concessions either to the West or to its own people, who clearly are not happy living under the theocratic regime. There were some possible folks that could be appointed as supreme leader or into some important position associated with the Green movement, the Green Revolution movement back in the early aughts, for instance, that would have been an indicator that Tehran is willing to reach out to the West in a way that says we don't want nukes, we don't want perpetual conflict and confrontation. I think Mujtaba's ascension basically says more of the same. I think that the ascension of a new leader indicates continuation of the war, at least as long as they maintain the ability to absorb punishment. But what it doesn't represent is the ability to escalate. And by escalate, I mean, look, if Iran had a better conventional military and had a deeper inventory of missiles than what it's actually got, they would still have some things that they could put into play that would represent escalation. If they had the relationship with Russia or with China that would make those countries willing to come into war on their behalf, that would represent a potential escalation. That's not what we have here.